Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Achmadsyah with my name number shown down below. Now I'm going to explain how the process of the European widening is, especially in the post-2000. Here I will categorize in four sections. First, what is the widening of the European Union? Second is the history of the widening of the EU. Third is what are the requirements for the EU widening. And the fourth are what is like in the post-2000 European widening and what's the reason for the widening and challenges. Now, I will explain what is the widening process of the European Union. So, what is actually widening of the EU? The European Union widening, or called as the European integration, is a process where states in the European region join the EU, which corresponds to the name as European widening, where it expanding its members. But integrating all European countries was not easy. There are still conditions or criteria that need to be fulfilled so that all members can have the benefits without one or more are a burden to other members. To know how and why European widening started and the criteria created, we need to look back to the history of the European Union when the widening process was started. Now, I'm going to explain the history of EU widening. The European Union back then was started as the European Community in 1958, which consisted of Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Luxembourg, and Netherlands. Back then, priorities were just improving economic conditions, where it was done by creating policy that eliminating trade barriers in that region or between the members. Social was also another priority because of the effects of World War II. A real flashback. So it can promote high-level integration that could prevent future wars. Yeah, and then it started expanding and adding more policies, which is adding criteria so that it does not burden the other members who are joining. For example, it adds more integration such as agriculture, because European is really rich in agriculture, where it turning it into a single market and a custom of the Union. Dated in 1995, it changes the name to the European Union and introduced the Copenhagen criteria, which I explain later. This is the criteria where countries that want to be part of EU must be eligible. It requires states to maintain democratic governance and human rights, the market economy that works, and the most important part is accepting any obligation or intents of the European Union. Now, we discuss what are the criteria for EU widening. So, the criteria for European widening and the accession steps is the Copenhagen criteria, which is really essential for candidates to become the part of EU members, and it was needed to comply. There are three criteria that need to be fulfilled for the accession. First are the political criteria, which stability of institution guaranteeing democracy, the rule of law, human rights, and respect for and protection of minorities. The second one is economic criteria, which it must function as a market economy and a capacity to cope with the competition and market forces. And the third one is administrative and institution capacity, so it to effectively implement EU acquires body of common rights and ability to take on obligation of EU membership. So the steps are for the occasion, the state must apply for EU membership and it must be agreed by all EU members. After the process begin, starting with the formal accession negotiation with all EU member agreements, which can help to prepare the candidate for eventual membership and adoption focus of the EU. After its completion, the EU prepares enlargement terms of absorption capacity, conditions for accession such as safeguard and transitional arrangement. After that, all EU members and the candidate are signing the approval and the candidate becomes the EU member. Welcome! And now I show you what it looks like the EU enlargement in the post-2000, which was after the EU was newly introduced with its new sets of policy and criteria. So, what it looks like in the post-2000 and the reason of the widening and challenges. The pattern of the enlarged post and past EU are different, especially from the members that are part of the widening process. The past EU or the European Community era countries that joining the EC are basically big countries like the first time it was established, Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, and these countries are the part of World War II, which is the first it was established are keeping from war and recovering the economy together. Then it started to getting more members with big countries like Denmark, Ireland, United Kingdom, Greece, Spain, and Portugal. And it can be seen that mostly is on the western part of the Europe, and easy getting these countries because they have reason. Like the single market, for example, where this country has a great economy, custom union, so that they are traveling easier from Europe to United Europe countries, and also all people know that Europe has one of the biggest contribution in integration. It all makes sense why EC is widening from these members, because they have good contribution. Then after the EC became the EU and the Copenhagen criteria was introduced, it started to change the pattern of its widening process. In 1995, when the EU was established, it was the last time when they were widening members from the western part of the Europe. In the past 2000, the pattern changed when it was now widening to the eastern and Baltic part of the Europe. This is because the western part of Europe has already been part of the EU, with exception of Switzerland and Norway. And this is the reason why the EU was widening into the eastern and Baltic part of the Europe. It can be seen from countries that joining the EU in post-year 2000, like in the year 2004, like Czech Republic, Estonia, Cyprus, Latvia, Lithuania, Hungary, Malta, Poland, Slovenia, Slovakia, and in year 2007 there are Bulgaria and Romania, and the most recent one was in 2013, which are Croatia. Although there are advantages of the widening, such as unemployment decrease because now people can get jobs to other EU member states, it can take more seriously on eco-friendly policies and bigger impact, easier to travel, economy benefits, services are easy throughout EU states, and high standard for food and consumer benefits for its safety. But there are disadvantages for this widening. Remember that I mentioned about easier to travel across Europe? This can be bad because some countries can still let people outside the EU with a false ID or without documentation. This can lead to terrorism or risk to security, where illegal immigrants do not have money or job, can be criminal to risk people. So the challenge for the EU are they need to work hard to make all members states borders have the same high standard. The other disadvantage is that some EU member states are not big and developed countries. This led only bigger countries to get the bigger income or larger capita GDP, but small countries, especially in Eastern, are struggling and they still need to pay the contribute to the EU, which defeat the purpose of EU that maintaining stability among members. That is all my presentation. Thank you and have a nice day.